Hi, this is Cindy Casita. Welcome back to Real Estate with Cindy. Well, today we're going to talk about where's my commission check. You know, that's what we want to do is we want to make money. We're in here this for financial gain and to help people also. But our paycheck is very, very important. Remember that most offices, and if they don't, require you to finish your file out before they will issue is it called a DA or a commission check request or whatever it is to the title company or the lawyer to let them pay you at closing. Your file has to be complete. This is such an important step, and I know it's a pain in the butt and you think that they're just being nitpicky, but this is to protect you and protect them. This paperwork is important and there's a reason for it, whether it was lawsuits in our industry or something came up within the brokerage. They just want to make sure that all the bases are covered, everybody's aware of everything, full disclosure that everybody is happily going to closing and you get your check. The funds get transferred, everything happens very smoothly. So be sure and get your file in order so that you can get your check at closing. Now I have seen here in Florida, I am not a lawyer and I am not a plumber or an electrician, but in Florida, the lawyers that are doing closings for us most times do not write us a check as Cynthia Casita. They will send a check to your brokerage and let your brokerage write you a check. Now, I don't know why. I'm sure there's some great reason for that, and it is a pain because it sometimes, delays your check for 1 or 2 days to get it from your brokerage. And generally, they won't let you take it from point A from point B, like from the lawyer's office to the brokerage. It has to be sent either FedEx or Priority Mail, but generally they use FedEx or a courier to get the check over there. So, keep that in the back of your mind when you know that your closing is, whether or not that'll happen. And usually they tell you, well, they don't always tell you, but you find out the day of closing, oh yeah, it's just one check we're cutting to the brokerage. You'll have to handle it with your brokerage. You're like, great. But you know what? This brings another point about your commission checks. Whether your check is $3,000 or $30,000, do not spend it before you have it in your pocket. There's so many people, they go out and buy something on, I'll just put it on the credit card, we'll pay it off as soon as we get our check. What if the closing cancels the day before? What if? It could happen. What if there's a hurricane and we can't close, the house floods? What if the house burns down? What if? Don't spend your money until it's in your hand to deposit, because it's just not a way to live. Be sure and give yourself a padding, and that's why you're going to look at your check when you get it and decide how your money's going to be spent. Don't go splurge on one big item. Oh, I worked so hard, I'm going to go buy X. Don't do that. Plan for the future. You don't know when that next closing's coming or if a next buyer's coming. You want to be sure and stabilize your revenue so that you can go through those rainy days of closing not happening or whatever, and then decide how you're going to do your check. But the biggest shock is when you get your check and you look at the deductions. Now this is where, if you didn't pay attention in my earlier videos, of where the brokerage takes out their cut. Now they call it a cap, meaning that some brokerages take out $18,000, they'll do a certain percentage per check until you cap at $18,021, and then there might be a franchise fee on top of that that's forever, like a 6%, 5%, whatever that is, that's always coming out. E&O insurance, it's important, but find out how much that really is. They may have a charity line fee in there that they want you to contribute to their charity. Now, as far as my family, we do our tithing to our church, and our church decides how the money goes out from there. So, think about how don't be pressured into giving up your check. Then you may say, you know what, I did want to rent that office over. They'll take out the $35, $50 for that chair or that office, or $200. Or they have, some kind of event coming up and you're going to contribute to it. Watch your money go down quickly. I mean, you need to watch your paycheck. And my mom in real estate for years said the first thing they want to do is put their hand in your pocket. Protect your check and make sure that you are deciding where your money is going. So, this is a good point that you look at it and go, wow, I didn't realize this was forever. We didn't even think about that when we started, what it is. But, if you were on a technical fee, they have a technical fee. If you're getting benefit from these numbers, stay. If you're not, if you already have a MacDaddy website, you don't need their CRM, you don't need their touch program, you've got it all handled, you might want to think about a flat fee one instead. So don't be held hostage, and you're not with a brokerage. It's a quick change if you want to. Yes, it's new business cards, or it may be new signs and that kind of thing, but they're not that expensive. So you might want to, we have some links down below for those kind of items that are, a lot more reasonable than what you have to get or they're pressuring you to get. So just pay attention to those fees. It's very important. When you get your check, you'll get it from usually at the closing, and that is when everything is funded, meaning the lender has sent their money over to the bank, to the title company or the lawyer, and they have dispersed that money to the seller, and the buyer is now able to get the keys. You do not give keys until the funds have been dispersed and it's closed. Then you get your check, and use the title company. I want here, we can swing by and pick it up, or they'll overnight it to me and I can have it the next day. So, it's kind of a nice thing. You get treated real sweet for sending them business. So don't let anybody hold you hostage over your money, but plan where your money goes. I don't even honestly calculate my commission until I'm ready to do the DA and ready for it to close. It's just something that I do in my head that I just don't want to know. I don't want to depend on that money in my head and go make a stupid purchase out there. So guard your money all you can. This is probably the most important decision you make, is where your money goes. The bank, make sure your bank is set up correctly, that you have an LLC or a PA, something separate from your personal money. Don't take that check and go put it in your checking account and go out to dinner. No, we're not doing that. You need to have your check in your business account, and then you can write yourself a paycheck from that account to your personal account. You want to keep these things separate. This is your business and this is your home. Same thing emotionally. You've got business, you've got home. And don't let the two cross. Don't use your business credit card to go out to dinner with your sweetie. It is for business. Don't use your credit card, your personal credit card, for your business gas. That doesn't help you in tax time. Your CPA will want to know how much money did you do on mileage, did you do on expenses. Now, there are some good mileage trackers out there. MileIQ, I think, is one I used, and I really like it a lot. But we got to where I was working so much, we just did an average of my odometer for the year. So this is when a CPA comes in handy, because you're going to have to pay taxes on that money. So you want to be sure you keep back some for when it's tax time, whether you pay quarterly, every 6 months, or annually. You want to save some of that money aside. Talk to your CPA about your plans, your goals. Realistically, we always look in June to see where we are and where we think we'll be, and adjust our deductions, or adjust our tax rate that we're paying into it for Social Security, etc. You just need a good CPA. We at one time got in trouble because we had a bad CPA, and we never want to go down that path again. And we got out of it quickly and everything was fine. But you don't want the IRS calling you and going, where's your tax return? This doesn't look right. Just get a good CPA. We got to where ours is about $400 a quarter. It's worth every penny. Budget for that. Let them take that burden off your shoulders. They'll advise you to keep track of this, keep track of that. And it's so much easier than worrying come December 31st. I don't want to call from them going, oh, you owe $9,000. What am I going to do now? So you'll be prepared. They'll help you be prepared. So today is payday, and it's a great day. If you want a field guide about what we talked about, look in the comments below, and there'll be some links for you so that you can get a field guide about this important information for you. So relax, enjoy your business, and congratulations, it's payday. Thank you for watching. If you're looking to be a better agent, or you're a new agent getting into the business, you might want to look at a couple of these new videos that we have that will help you on that process. I want to thank you for watching. If you liked what we're saying, please like and subscribe. Look forward to talking to you again.